Did you know that 5 years ago I had nothing? Like literally nothing. No money, no connections, no future in sight. In fact, the girl I loved walked away, not because she wanted to, but because poverty made the decision for her. Actually, I had just graduated, a fresh certificate in my hand, and an empty pocket in my life. Of course, there were dreams, very many of them, but opportunities were none. Then one ordinary day, that day changed my life. I picked an old dusty book from a roadside stall, and I read 101 ways to make money in Africa. Most ideas sounded very impossible. Some even felt like fantasies. But one word kept staring back at me. Can you guess that? Yes, farming. I laughed. Me, a farmer with a degree? But let me tell you one thing. Desperation is a powerful teacher. I tried farming, and some days later, my life was no longer the same. What happened next changed everything, like literally everything. 8 weeks. That is all it took. 500 broiler chickens, a small, risky beginning, a desperate gamble you may say. But let me tell you, when the dust finally settled, 250,000 shillings stood before me in 8 weeks. Not a dream, not a promise. This is a reality. And for the first time in my life, money did not run away from me like my girlfriend. Actually, money came to me. I did not celebrate. I did not relax. I reinvested every shilling, every coin, every drop of hope. And just like that, 1,000 broiler chicks arrived. Twice the risk, twice the pressure, but also twice the opportunity. This was no longer survival. This was a strategy. From broken dreams to building a system, from poverty to profit to possibility. And now I'll take you on the exact journey, step by step, of how chicken farming changed my life. Not with magic, not with luck, but with discipline, knowledge, and smart decisions. Let us begin right now. I did not have millions. I did not have sponsors. I did not have shortcuts. What I had was just resourcefulness. I had a very simple structure, 40 meters by 10 meters, enough space for growth, enough room for profit. No fancy buildings, no expensive materials, just wisdom over wealth. I used all the timber from construction sites, wire mesh for ventilation and safety, and I also used these iron sheets for roofing. Nothing new, everything was very useful. For the floor, you can imagine, I did not buy expensive systems. I just use wood shavings as you can see them, dry, clean, cheap, because a smart farmer protects the birds without destroying the budget. So feeding and drinking, no shiny equipment that I used, no imported tools, just old jerry cans as you can see them here, cut, cleaned and converted, feeders, drinkers, and very functional. The total setup cost was very low, but the value very high, because success is not built with money. It is built with your own mindset. If you can't afford luxury equipment for your chickens, just be creative. Build with creativity. If you can't follow the crowd, create your own path. And that simple structure became the foundation of everything that followed to push me from poverty to what I am right now, as you know me. Every journey has a price, not just in effort, but also in money. And for me, the first step was very simple. 500 chicks, strong, healthy, ready to grow. Each one costs 100 shillings. No discounts, no favors, no shortcuts. So the total was 50,000 shillings. To some, this is very small money. But to a man who had nothing, to the man who had lost his girlfriend because of poverty, this 50,000 shillings meant everything to me. This was not just a purchase. It was a statement I was making. I was making a declaration of life. I was saying I refuse to remain in poverty forever. 500 tiny lives, 500 chances, 500 seeds of hope. I wasn't buying chickens. Let me tell you, I was buying my future. And once they arrived, there was no turning back. The real work had just begun. I knew in one way or the other, I was to fight poverty either by hook or crook, and I chose this hook. Feeding is where many farmers fail as far as chicken farming is concerned. They fail not because they don't try, but because they don't plan. For me, I was working on a very tight budget considering my poverty, so every kilogram of feeding chicken mattered, every shilling counted. Let me tell you, a broiler chicken from day one to market eats about 1.2 kilograms of starter feed and 2.3 kilograms of finisher feed. That is roughly 3.5 kg per bird. Remember this on the lower efficient side, okay? Now let us do the math. I had 500 broiler birds, so the total feed needed will be 500 chickens times 3.5 kg. This is the feed that every bird will be eating. So what do you get? You get 1,750 kilograms of chicken feed. Now you take this 1,750, you divide by a 50 kilogram each. This becomes 35 birds, right? Now this is the cost breakdown and the budget prices. So the starter feed in Kenya costs between 3,000 to 500 shillings, and the finisher feed is 3,200 per bag right now and before then. So let us say 12 bags of starter and 23 bags of finisher. So total feed cost is 115,000 to 120,000. No waste, no overfeeding, no guesswork. So this was my strategy. I fed them on schedule, not on emotions. I used clean water always. I avoided spilling feeds, and I monitored growth weekly, because feed is not just food. Remember this, feed is investment. So you need to feed your chickens wisely and profit will follow. Feed carefully and money will follow you. But feed carelessly and money will disappear. Mortality control and protecting profits. This is exactly what you have to do, because every bird matters, because every bird is your money. So I followed 3 rules: clean water, dry bedding, and proper vaccination. No dirty floors, no overcrowding, no careless handling. My losses, they were very low because prevention is cheaper than treatment. A healthy flock is a profitable flock. Chicken growth does not happen overnight. It happens day by day. So week 1 to week 2, they are very tiny, fragile, dependent. You have to be there. Yeah, they need heat, clean water, starter feed. No mistakes are allowed here, and I did not do any mistake here. By week 3 to week 4, feathers started to grow. They build strength, okay? Then also you have to increase the feeds. By week 5 and week 6, now they eat with a purpose, to form the muscles, to increase their weights. And by week 7 to week 8, they are very strong, heavy, and ready for the market. So you can see, from small chicks to market ready broilers. 8 weeks, no shortcuts, just discipline. When my birds were finally ready, I did not wait for buyers. I went to the market, hotels, restaurants, local traders. I went everywhere. I sold very fast, by the way. I sold smart and I sold in bulk. Each bird went for about 500 Kenya shillings. No storage costs, no delays, just cash flow. So let us talk about the numbers. Not dreams, not hypes. These were my expenses. Chicks cost me 50,000 Kenya shillings. Feeds cost me 1,200 220,000 Kenya shillings. Setup and miscellaneous cost me 20,000 shillings. So total spent, I spent 190,000 Kenyan shillings. Now these are the sales. 500 bahts times 500 Kenyan shillings. What do you get? 250,000 Kenya shillings. So what's my profit in 8 weeks? 60,000 in 8 weeks. Not luck, not magic. Strategy was discipline and vision. That money didn't end in my pocket. I went back into the business. That is how 500 became 1,000 chickens. That's broiler chickens. And that is how poverty met its match. I was ruthless this time. Success in chicken farming does not whisper. It demands. When I sold the first and got the first profits, I did not buy luxury. I did not chase comfort. I chose growth. Every shilling went back into the business. From 500 chickens to 1,000 broiler chicks. Bigger space, better planning, stronger discipline. The pressure doubled, so did the responsibility, but so did the vision. I applied the same rules: clean water, controlled feeding, dry bedding, strict hygiene, just smart marketing. No shortcuts, no excuses. Week by week, the birds grew stronger. By day 70, the farm was no longer silent. It was alive with profit. Restaurants called, traders arrived, demand was very high. Each bird sold fast. Each sale felt like a walk into victory. When the numbers were counted, 300,000 shillings. Not in a year, not in 6 months, 70 days. From poverty to possibility, from broken dreams to a growing empire. This was no miracle. It was a method, no magic, just mindset. And if it worked for me, it can work for you also. Now you can see, 5 years ago I was chasing survival. Today I am building a future, not with luck, not with shortcuts, with a purpose. Chicken farming didn't just change my income, it changed my mindset and my status completely. From a poor village boy, chicken farming taught me that growth is possible when discipline meets determination. If you are watching this with empty pockets but a hungry heart, remember this: your situation is not your destination. Start small, think big, stay consistent, because the same soil that grows food can also grow dreams. This was my story. Now I send ye into the world. Go and write your own story. This is Korobe Poultry Farm. Let us meet in the next video.